Hold up, I'm breaking ankles like some old tops. My rhyme steady going. Please don't ask me if the flow stop. Deep in the pocket like the roof on a drop top. 101 Dalmatians, the way your boy drop dots. Man, hold up, I got you diving when I'm juking. The clips so sick like the smell from when you're pooping. I ain't get done and click the sub button and hit the bell, cause I got a lot more of it. Yeah, who's mains? Terrence House head, who's mains? Batman, Bruce Wayne.
What's goody, what's poppin' YouTube? It's your boy WhosManz, getting into another back to the basics. And today we're gonna start the match series, and I'm gonna go over cover 4, quarters, palms. I'm gonna go over cover 6, cover 9, and then lip riz, which is cover 3 match. There is cover 2 sync, which is match, but they took it out of basically everything except for dollar. So I am sorry for any crazy cuts. My allergies is really going crazy. I'm currently dying right now. Please help me.
We do not care.
Anyway, if you guys are new, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell to never miss an upload. Like I said, we will be getting into everything, and this should be a very...
I'm finna wait to see who's gonna say blessing.
I beg your pardon?
Like I said, we'll be getting into everything, and it should be a pretty interesting series. I will be getting into the 32 team series as well. I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm probably going to use the Jaguars and the Broncos next, and I will be implementing the stuff that I teach you guys in these videos, especially on defense. And then I'll be, like I said, going over what I'm talking about on offense. So I mean, it should help. And then also with what I'm teaching on defense, you're gonna see what I'm seeing on offense, and I'll explain that. So yeah, man, let's get into it. I'm gonna look at this, even though it doesn't have deep quarters, it'll still be easier to think of, look at the deep halves and then split those in half. Those are your deep quarters. You have your middle read, which is, basically the 2 hooks with the hole there. That's where the mic is going to be playing. And then you have your flat zones where, either your Will and your Sam are playing, or your Sam and your nickel is playing, or both, your nickel and your dime are playing. You're going to have 3 underneath zones and 4 deep zones. And I'm going to talk about the spot drop right now, and then I'll go into the match part later. Because if you understand the drop zone part, it will allow you to make certain adjustments easier, because you know exactly what's going on, all that good stuff, yada yada, bada bing, bada boom. I'm trying to teach y'all, okay? So let's get into the spot. Real simple, 4 deep, 3 underneath, and yeah. So first and foremost, spot drop. What is spot drop? Spot drop is basically what you see on the screen, right? This 3 hook, he's dropping into his spot right here. He's dropping into the spot right here. He's just playing this zone, right? He has no match principles. He is just playing in this area. Whoever comes in this area, he will guard them until they leave this area. Same thing with this guy, right? He's playing spot drop. He's going to drop into this spot here, the flat. It says quarter flat, but you're gonna notice I don't have match on, just so they play spot drop. He's going to play in the flat area. He will stay up here just because it's the quarter flat. They want them to play a little further up, but he's playing this flat area. The quarter, the deep quarter, he's playing a zone deep back here, right? He is staying back here. He's keeping everything over top. And that was a little weird, but anyway, so yeah, he's playing a deep zone back here, right? So that's spot drop. Same thing with Fitzpatrick. He's dropping into a spot. He's dropping into a spot. He's dropping into a spot. So now that you understand that, we just going to let this play out, and you're going to see how they play. Now, when we look at this, right, you see the alignment of cover 4 just in general. You have your 2 number 1 corners on the outsides, right? Your outside corners. They're going to be 7 to 8 yards deep. Along with these safeties are going to be about 10 yards deep, as you see. And then he's going to be 7 to 8 yards deep. And the number 1 outside guys are playing an outside shade. And he should try to stay to the outside of this guy. You don't want to let him get the free release outside, just because you know this guy is not going to be helping over there. He's trying to, you know, take everything to the inside of this half of the field, right? Same thing with this guy. He's taking everything to the inside half of this field. And then you want him to play outside leverage. So you have that, which leaves you with 3 underneath zones. You have this middle read. He's, you know, just playing the middle of the field. Boom. And then you have this flat zone. Boom. He's playing the flats. He doesn't want to get too deep, you know, to let anything underneath get too crazy open. And this guy, once again, is playing the flats. But you see that guy went out to the flat a little bit, went vertical. Nobody else is going vertical. The whole point is to keep everything underneath. And you see, when you play deep like this, you have people over top to help. Now all you got to do is squeeze down on the underneath to reduce the threat of them getting that many yards. So they only picked up 5 here. Just say this was, you know, 3rd and long, 4th and long, something like that. This is a good play call, especially if you think that they're running verticals or something where a lot of the guys are going deep. You see here, this spot drop is nice because it just, you have a lot more defenders deep to help, right? The only downside is you have 3 underneath defenders. Offenses will spread the ball out and then attack those 3 underneath defenders. So you're going to do a lot of short routes, underneath crossing routes, things like that. And you're going to see here the issue with that. So this is just a shallow cross look, right? With everybody backing up, you know, you have 4 deep people and 3 underneath. All it took was 1 person going shallow, boom. And now you have blockers up the field, pick up 10 yards. So that is the one issue of a spot drop, like cover 4 spot drop with this defense, is it's not that great underneath. You only have 3 defenders. So if you were to run like mesh, something with like a drive, and then have a swing route to the, you know, flats or something like that. Anything where you stress the underneath routes, it makes it so much harder because you have 3 people trying to defend the flats and just the underneath in general. So now that we got the spot drop portion out of the way, we're going to be talking about the match portion. And if you need to figure out how to turn match on, I'm going to show you. Hit the right, stick in, and it's at the bottom. So just go all the way to the bottom to where you see zone coverage. You either have default or match. You see defenders will drop into their zone midpoints, and then you can have match on. So we're going to turn match on, and now we will get into quarters. And before we do all that, we're going to play it against verticals, because if you're not able to stop verticals, you have an issue. So we're going to go into verticals, and we're going to see how this plays. With quarters, we're going to go into quarters 2x2, because there is differences in 2x2 and 3x1. So in quarters, we're going to look at the number 1 side over here. So Witherspoon is going to be playing this wide receiver. He's going to pattern match him if he goes vertical. in Madden, vertical is 7+ yards. So if he goes 7+ yards, he is going to pattern match or just kind of play man on that cornerback. And by the cornerback, I'm talking about this cornerback that I'm hovering over right here. He is going to be pattern matching him. He's going to have an outside shade. If this number 1 receiver does not go vertical, he then will look to number 2 if he goes vertical. And usually he will bracket him if he goes outside. So if it's like a deep out, a corner route, something like that, or even if he just goes straight vertical, if he just does a straight up go route, something like that, he will bracket him. Number 1 corners on both sides, they are going to have the same responsibility. So Sutton is playing this receiver. He's going to be reading him if he goes vertical 7+ yards in Madden. At least if he goes vertical 7+ yards, it differs in actual football. If you actually play football, your coach may tell you if he goes vertical more than 5 yards, I want you to pattern match or just man him up. But in Madden, it's 7+ yards. If they go 7+, that's considered vertical, so they will do that. As far as the safeties, they're going to be playing a flat foot technique, meaning when the ball is hiked, they are not bailing straight off, right? They are waiting basically to read if number 2, which the number 2 is going to be this guy here, is he going vertical? If he goes vertical, once again, 7+ yards, he is going to pattern match him. He is going to take him and then pattern match. So if he goes vertical, just a straight go, he's going straight up the field. If he goes 7+ yards and then does a deep dig, he's going to carry him. He's going to basically play man to him. And then if he does a corner route, he's going to go to the corner with him. He is playing man on that dude anywhere he goes, if he goes vertical 7+ yards. So that is the same thing with KZ on this side. If this number 2 receiver here goes vertical 7+ yards, he's going to pattern match him, basically go everywhere he goes. So, I mean, it's pretty simple as to what's going on there. If the number 2 does not go vertical, so that could either be this, this tight end right there, or that could be this guy Sims right here. If neither of those guys go vertical, they then bracket for the number 1. So they'll bracket just in case the number 1, if the number 1 does a post to the middle of the field, they will bracket. So by bracket, I mean Fitzpatrick will always try to stay to the inside of that receiver, and the number 1 here will always try to stay outside, basically to make that throw a lot harder, just in case, like I said, the number 2 guy right here, he doesn't go vertical. So now we're going to get into the flat zones, right? You have your quarter flats, which is going to be Edmonds and Bush here. These will usually be your weak side linebacker. You have your Mike, your middle linebacker. It doesn't always have to be a linebacker. And then you will have your nickel, but this is big nickel over G because it has all of the plays, most of the plays I should say, that I need. And basically what's happening here is he is taking number 2. If number 2 goes to the flats, he is going to be taking him and playing man against him. So if he doesn't go vertical, he is going to be playing man against him to the flats. So even if he does a wheel route, for instance, right, where he goes out and then comes up, he's going to be playing that whole wheel. If he does go vertical, he will carry him to this safety, in which then that safety will play man on him. Once he gets to that point, he will then come out here and try to help with number 1, just in case number 1 did like a curl route or something like that. Or if, I don't know, if number 1 just did a quick hitch down here, speed out, something like that, he will carry this guy maybe a little bit and then shoot out here. In some cases, some defenses, if number 2 sees anybody on the flats just going straight out, if he sees this receiver going straight to the flat, he may just cut straight over here, and now this safety is responsible for number 1. But in Madden, he is going to be carrying him vertical If he goes 7+, then he will shoot down to the flats to help out over here in the flats area. Same thing if this number 2 decides to run a drag, he's going to carry him to the 3 rec hook to the mic. He's going to carry him, and then he's going to come back and try to, you know, help out in the flats area in this, you know, area over here. Same thing goes for the wheel linebacker. If number 2 goes straight to the flat, he's playing man on him. He's going to man him up. If he goes vertical, he would carry him to the safety. If he decides to run a shallow towards the middle of the field, he'll carry him to the mic. Once again, if this guy goes vertical, he'll carry him. And then if, like on a smash route, for instance, smash, he's going to go vertical. And then that hitch will happen. So then he will come down and try to help out on the hitch. This 3 rec hook, he's like a wall defender. So basically anything across the middle, he is helping carry it to, you know, the respective areas. So if the number 2 on this side decides to run a drag, he will carry him all the way to this point right here. If, you know, this guy decides to run a drag, he will carry him. Now, if it's a mesh type play, then he's gonna have to basically choose like what's going on here. He will also look at this running back. If this running back decides to run a curl, he is going to be taking him. Angle routes, he's got to look for angle routes. You know, he'll come out a little bit out here, understanding that, okay, well, if he runs to the flats, this flat defender is going to have to help out with that. But if he cuts back, he can't get too far outside, because if that angle route gets too far outside, then boom. If this number 3 decides to go vertical, the number 3 being the running back, you're going to see if that running back gets vertical, he will have to carry him deep, because if he doesn't, that is a potential threat right there. There's a play, a smash play, where the running back is vertical and the computer will not carry him, just because I don't think there's that kind of awareness in the game. I don't think they have it programmed that way. But if you see smash concept on this side of the field where number 2 runs a corner, number 1 runs a hitch, and you see this running back come out the backfield up the field, you kind of have to just pick your poison. If number 2 decides to run a drag across the middle this way, and you see this running back going vertical with a smash on this side of the field, do you want to give up the big play to the running back deep, you know, down the middle of the field, understanding that this safety now is not helping deep? He is all the way over here. He's taking number 2 to the corner because he ran vertical. You're gonna have to pick your poison. Do you want to take the running back deep, or do you want to help out with the drag underneath, just in case that is like a concept that they run? So usually you want to minimize big plays. So if you see this running back just running straight down the middle of the field and you're the 3 rec hook, I would probably take that. You don't want to have huge plays, so you'll probably give up this drag, but you will have somebody deep, at least yourself, to help out with coming back down underneath. And we're going to see how this plays out. Okay, so you see, boom, they'll carry him, and now you'll see here these safeties aren't bailing. They're playing like a flat foot technique because they are involved in the run game, so they don't want to get, you know, beat to them, you know, on the run. But you see, they will carry, and then now they're coming down to help in the flats. And then you see here that this 3 rec hook is going to help bracket on this running back, because there's no other threats coming to the middle of the. There's no other threats. Everything else went deep. There's no other threats. So he's bracketing. He is kind of manning up on that guy, right? Now, this is the play that I was telling you about where the running back is going, you know, doing a go straight up the middle of the field. There's a smash on the left side of the field. The number 2 here is going to be running a corner. Number 1 is running a hitch. You're going to see Fitzpatrick is going to match on that corner route, leaving basically all of this behind Jack open. So you're going to see the running back, Najee Harris, is going to be wide open. So you're going to see on this side of the field, number 2 is being carried, right? He's puts hands on him, carries him. He goes 7+ yards vertical. So what happens? He is going to take him to the corner. Now, another thing you notice, number 1 did not go vertical. So what happens? He looks to number 2 and he brackets. With that being said, now that he sees, okay, I carried him and there's somebody in the flat, what does he do? He sinks over to him in the flat. On this side, we're going to look on this side, right? Number 1. Is he going vertical? He goes vertical. So now he is matching him. That was bad. That was a bad technique right there. Why you run up the field that way, I'll never know. Right here, you're going to see this number 2 go vertical. He's 5. Technically, he does go vertical Madden-wise, but I think he's supposed to run a 5-yard dig, and then with the fact that he was pushed, it kind of negates that. So number 2 is going to look to bracket on that end, which he gets to it very late. He would bracket this in, this dig right here, which means that, you know, this guy sees, okay, nobody's going to the flats. Let me carry him to the middle to help with him. Now, this is where I was showing where you don't have to pick your poison. Are you going to take the dig, or are you going to reduce the big play and take away this running back? Because there's a couple of things that you're going to have to know, that you're going to have to be able to do is trust your defense, right? You can try to carry that dig as far as possible and then shoot back to the running back, because you know if you delay that throw to the middle of the field long enough, he is running directly into Edmonds, which Edmonds will react to that. So defense is all give and take, and for me, I would want to take Najee Harris all the way up the field there, because if any good quarterback sees this, they're going to throw it right in the middle of the field right here. One thing you can do is, if you do notice that, right, like I said, you can wall off that and then go down the field. I'm going to go into that double cross play because it is a great play. Once again, you're looking. Number 1s, if the number 1 receiver goes vertical, 7+ yards, he's covering them. Same thing with the number 2. If the number 2 goes vertical, then you know that safety on that respective side is going with them. And then if anyone goes to the flat, then you know those quarter flats are going to be playing the man. So we're going to watch this play out. And yeah, looking at this play, I'm going to look at this side first. Number 1 is number 1 going vertical. Number 1 is going vertical. So he's supposed to be playing an outside shade technique, but he's on the inside. It is what it is, I guess. It's Madden. Number 2, does number 2 go vertical? He does go vertical, 7+ yards. So what happens? Now the safety should be playing him, but like I said, Madden gets weird sometimes with the match. It looked like he might have only gone 5 yards if he didn't get touched there, but he got touched. So I think that's where it gets murky sometimes for them in real life. Depending on what your coach says, if he says 7, you see him get 7, this safety should be matching to that dig right there. But what happens is now he is basically pushing him all the way to the middle read so that he can help out. And then now he sees an immediate threat coming to the flat. So what is he going to do? He's going to go to the flat. What I would like to see is, if he sees this happening, for him to stand flat-footed for just a second, because that throw is going to have to be real tight. The throw is going to have to be real tight, because the middle read basically can play all 3 of these receivers right now in the middle of the field. So that would be a hard throw to make to that dig. If anything, you would throw it to the mesh underneath. Now he sees that guy coming to the flat. He's going to take him. What is he doing? He's going to carry him. He doesn't go vertical. So he's going to kind of help out because he's seen that this number 1 went to the flat. So he's helping out over there to the flats. But now you see that he sees somebody coming to the flat on the other side. So what does he do? He stops immediately, comes down to the flats. Personally, I wouldn't want him turning his back on a play like this to help. I would just want him to back up towards this area if he sees that guy, or maybe help him send it to the middle. Because if he helps him send it to the middle, you see the running back then dart to the flat this way. That makes it so much easier to then guard this flat route, right? And just say, we're going to play this how I thought it should happen, right? So he comes down, boom. And now that play is played a little bit better. So understanding what your defense should do and what they're going to do makes this a lot easier. Now, obviously I knew exactly what play they're doing, but you see here, he's backing up to that area, right? I look to the middle. Okay, he's going to the sidelines, but I see that running backs cut to the middle of the field. So now I'm going to come down and play the running back. What I would like to see from this now is the middle linebacker to not commit so hard to this drag route, because he should understand that this man here is going to have to take him. You got to trust him, because now look at this. You have the middle of the field wide open. Any better quarterback in this game is going to dot you over the middle right here, and that's probably going to be a 15-yard gain right there, especially if you make a man miss. There's just a little things. Now, I'm not mad that they're playing it this way, because people make mistakes. It's hard to determine things real time when things play out. People just, you see it on Sundays all the time. Somebody accidentally double covers somebody when they left somebody wide open. It happens. So I don't think this is a glitch. I don't think this is just wrong programming. None of these players are 99 overall, know-it-all, everythings, right? Let me know in the comments if this helped, or if you thought I should do this in multiple sections. I'm gonna try to section it out in the timestamps for y'all. And yeah, if you are new, like I said, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the bell. Hit the get the notifications when I upload. Next video, I'm gonna do in-game footage of my cover 4 quarters stuff to show y'all. That way you have what it looks like against users. And yeah, so maybe I'll split it up. If I split it up, then y'all gonna see this 2 times. So I'll see y'all next time. Like I said, I'm gonna be using the Broncos and the Jaguars. Who I'm gonna use first, I don't know. I'm gonna probably use the Broncos because I need to get it out the way. I remember playing with them before. I don't really like that team all that much, but hey, it is what it is. So I'll see y'all next time. Remember, GITG, give it to God. And really, hey, you know what? Speaking of GITG, lastly, because like I said, I know this video getting long. I'm gonna do a Sunday sermon kind of thing where I'm gonna go over what I learned in the sermons. So if y'all want to watch those too, go ahead, watch it. Get holy with your boy, man. I'm giving my life to Christ. I'm trying to, get things turned around and such. So I'm gonna do my Sunday sermon kind of things and just talk about that over gameplays. I'm not trying to force nothing on nobody. So if y'all don't want to hear all that, you still got gameplay to look at. If you do want to listen to it, man, you can listen to it. It's gonna be on the Sundays, Sunday mornings. So if y'all are interested in that, it's gonna be on the Sundays. If you don't, oh well, just don't watch it on Sunday, I guess. But yeah, thank y'all for watching. Peace.